Entendido. Vou gerar o roteiro completo para você. Preparando o script baseado no título fornecido. March 1966. Hollywood. Paramount Studios. Stage 12. Elvis Presley stands under hot lights. His jaw clenches, his fists tight at his sides. This is not where he wants to be. This is not what he wants to do. But Colonel Tom Parker made the deal. The cameras roll. Elvis moves. Not because he wants to, because he has to. What happens over the next 17 minutes will reveal the darkest chapter of Elvis's career. The movie he hated most. The one that broke something inside him. The one that changed everything. Here is the story. You need to understand something first. By 1966, Elvis Presley is the biggest star in the world. 10 years in the business, 27 films already made, millions of dollars earned, millions of fans worldwide. But inside, Elvis is dying. Not physically, creatively. He watches the Beatles. He watches the Rolling Stones. Real music, real artistry, real respect. Then he looks at his own career. Formulaic movies, silly songs, the same plot over and over. Girl, beach, song, kiss, the end. He hates it. Every single second of it. March 3rd, 1966, 8:17 a.m. Elvis's dressing room, Paramount Studios. He sits in front of the mirror, costume already on, tight pants, ridiculous shirt, hair perfect, makeup done. He looks at his reflection. This is not Elvis Presley, the artist. This is Elvis Presley, the product. A knock at the door. Come in. Colonel Tom Parker enters. Short, round, cigar in hand, dressed in his usual suit. Carnival barker smile on his face. Good morning, my boy. Elvis doesn't turn around. His eyes stay on the mirror. Colonel, I can't do this. Parker's smile doesn't fade. Can't do what, son? This movie. This script. Any of it. Parker sits down. Cigar smoke fills the room. Elvis, we've been through this. I know. And I'm telling you again, I won't. You will. 3 words. Calm, certain, final. Elvis finally turns. His eyes meet Parker's. This script is garbage. You know it. I know it. Everyone knows it. Parker taps ash into a tray. The studio doesn't think so. I don't care what the studio thinks. Well, you should. They're paying $3 million. Elvis stands. I don't need the money. Parker's smile widens. No, but I do. Silence. 5 seconds. 10. Elvis stares at the man who controls his life. The man who has controlled his life since 1955. 11 years. Every decision, every contract, every movie. All Parker. Quick thought. Have you ever felt trapped by something you agreed to years ago? Drop a comment. Elvis sits back down. His reflection stares back at him, defeated, broken. I hate you for this. Parker stands. You'll get over it. You always do. He walks to the door, stops, turns back. Oh, and Elvis? We start shooting the big number in 20 minutes. Don't be late. The door closes. Elvis alone again. His hands shake. Not from nerves, from rage. Pure, helpless rage. The movie is called Paradise, Hawaiian Style, the 3rd Hawaiian film in 5 years. After Blue Hawaii in 1961, after Girls, Girls, Girls in 1962. The formula is simple. Elvis plays a pilot, or a race car driver, or a singer. Always charming, always perfect, always surrounded by beautiful women. He sings 12 songs. He kisses 3 girls. He wins in the end. Roll credits. Print money. Parker loves it. The studios love it. The accountants love it. Elvis? Elvis dreams of King Creole, the 1958 film where he actually acted, where the story mattered, where the character had depth. That was 8 years ago, a lifetime. He dreams of dramatic roles, serious films, real music. But Parker says no, every single time. Too risky, my boy. The fans want what they know. Give them what they want. Make the money. Don't rock the boat. So Elvis doesn't. He makes the movies. He sings the songs. He smiles for the cameras. And inside, he dies a little more each day. March 3rd, 1966. 9 a.m., stage 12. The set is dressed like a tropical paradise. Fake palm trees, painted ocean backdrop, sand spread across the floor, bright lights simulating sunshine. 50 crew members, 20 extras, all waiting. Elvis walks onto set. Everyone watches. Not because they're excited, because they can feel the tension. It radiates off him like heat. The director approaches. Michael Moore. Good director, wrong movie. He knows it, everyone knows it. Elvis, we're ready for the helicopter scene. Elvis nods. No words, just a nod. They've been filming for 2 weeks already, 10 songs recorded, 15 scenes completed, every single moment torture for Elvis. The scene requires him to sing while pretending to fly a helicopter. Queenie Waheen's Papaya. Yes, that's a real song. Yes, Elvis has to sing it seriously. No, it doesn't get better. The playback starts. Music fills the stage. Ukuleles, hand claps, beach party sound, Elvis's pre-recorded voice. Queenie Waheen's Papaya rates higher than Pineapple, Chico, or Glum. He mouths the words. His body moves on autopilot. Smile here, wink there, point at the camera. Perfect timing, perfect performance, empty, completely empty. Cut. That's great, Elvis. Let's do one more for coverage. They do 17 takes. Not because something's wrong, because that's how movies work. Different angles. Different lighting. Safety takes, close-ups, wide shots, over and over and over. By take 12, something breaks in Elvis's eyes. The crew sees it, the director sees it, but they keep filming because the schedule demands it, because Parker demands it, because $3 million demands it. 1:45 p.m. Lunch break. Elvis returns to his dressing room. Doesn't eat, can't eat. His stomach churns. Joe Esposito enters. Elvis's friend, his right-hand man, part of the Memphis Mafia since 1960. You okay, EP? Elvis sits with his head in his hands. I'm doing a movie about papaya, Joe. Papaya. Joe pulls up a chair. I know, man. Do you? Do you really know what this is doing to me? I see it. Every day. Then why doesn't anyone stop it? You know why. Elvis looks up, his eyes red, not from crying, from exhaustion, from years of this. The Colonel. Joe nods. The Colonel. Silence between them. Two men who know the truth. Elvis is trapped. Legally, financially, professionally. Colonel Tom Parker isn't just his manager. He owns 50% of everything Elvis earns. 50%. An unheard-of deal. Parker negotiated it in 1967. Wait, no. When Elvis was 21, young, naive, trusting, Parker seemed like a miracle, a man who could make him a star. And he did. Parker made Elvis the biggest star on earth, but he also made him a prisoner. Every contract Parker signs on Elvis's behalf includes a clause. Elvis Presley Enterprises gets 50%. And who owns Elvis Presley Enterprises? Colonel Tom Parker. So Parker makes money whether Elvis wants to work or not, and Parker always wants to work. 3 movies a year, soundtrack albums for each, merchandise deals, concert specials, everything designed to maximize profit, never to maximize art. Joe, I want to quit. Elvis's voice barely above a whisper. You can't. I know, but I want to. What would you do instead? Real acting, serious films, music that matters. You think Parker would allow that? Elvis laughs. Bitter, hollow. Parker wouldn't allow me to breathe if it didn't make money. A knock at the door. 10 minutes, Mr. Presley. The afternoon continues. More scenes, more songs, more torture. Elvis performs flawlessly because he's a professional, because he's Elvis Presley. But inside, he's screaming. March 15th, 1966. 11:00 p.m. Graceland, Memphis, Tennessee. Elvis sits in the jungle room, his sanctuary. Green shag carpet on the ceiling. Tiki decor. Waterfall in the corner. This is where he comes to think. To be alone. To be himself. The phone rings. He ignores it. It rings again. And again. Finally, he picks up. Yeah. Elvis, it's the Colonel. Of course it is. What do you want? Just checking in, my boy. Heard the dailies look wonderful. Elvis says nothing. Elvis? You there? I'm here. Good, good. Listen, I've got wonderful news. Paramount wants another picture for next year. No. Parker chuckles. Come on, son, don't be difficult. I said no. We've already shaken hands on it. You shook hands, not me. Same thing, my boy. Same thing. Elvis's grip tightens on the receiver. I want out, Colonel. Out of what? All of it. The movies, the contracts, you. Silence on the other end. Long silence. Then Parker's voice returns. Colder now. You can't get out, Elvis. You know that. Watch me. You walk away. You owe me $15 million. Breach of contract. You're bluffing. Try me. Elvis knows he's not bluffing. Parker never bluffs. Every contract is airtight. Every deal is locked. Elvis would lose everything trying to break free. Graceland, his cars, his lifestyle, his family's security, all of it. Fine, I'll do the next movie. Smart boy. But after that, things change. We'll see, son. We'll see. The line goes dead. Elvis sits in silence. The waterfall trickles, the only sound in the room. He feels like he's drowning, and no one is coming to save him. Here's what you need to understand about Paradise Hawaiian style. It made money. Lots of money. $4 million at the box office. Profit on top of profit. The soundtrack sold respectably, not a smash hit, but enough. For Parker, that's all that mattered. For Elvis, it was another nail in the coffin. Critics destroyed it. Tired formula. Presley sleepwalks through another paycheck movie. When will Elvis make real films again? Elvis read every review, every single one. He kept them in a folder, evidence of his artistic murder. But here's the thing nobody talks about. Paradise Hawaiian Style wasn't just a bad movie. It was the moment Elvis gave up. Before this film, he still fought. He'd argue with Parker. He'd push back on scripts. He'd demand better material. After this film, silence. Complete surrender. Because he finally understood. He would never escape. April 1966. The movie wraps. Elvis returns to Memphis. Doesn't talk about it, doesn't acknowledge it, just buries it. Deep. His friends notice the change. Red West, his bodyguard since high school, pulls Joe aside. What happened in Hollywood? Joe shakes his head. I think something broke in him. What do you mean? He's different. Quieter. Like he's not even here. Red looks toward Elvis's room. The door is closed. It's been closed for 3 days. We need to do something. What can we do? The Colonel runs everything. Then maybe it's time someone stood up to the Colonel. But nobody does. Because standing up to Parker means losing Elvis. And losing Elvis means losing their jobs, their homes, their lives. The Memphis Mafia is loyal to Elvis, but they're also dependent on him, so they stay quiet. They watch him suffer, and they do nothing. May 1966. 1 month after filming ends, Priscilla Beaulieu, Elvis's girlfriend visits Graceland. They've been together since 1959. She's 21 now. She knows him better than anyone. She sees the darkness in his eyes. They sit in the music room, Elvis at the piano, not playing. Just sitting, staring at the keys. Elvis. Talk to me. About what? About whatever's hurting you. He looks at her. Really looks at her. I made another movie I hate. I know. And I'll make another one next year and the year after. Until I die. Don't say that. It's true, Scylla. This is my life now, making garbage for money, so stop. Elvis laughs. That bitter laugh again. I can't. Yes, you can. You don't understand. The contracts, the colonel, the money, all of it. Then break the contracts. Fire the colonel. Walk away. And lose everything I've built? Priscilla moves closer, takes his hands in hers. You've already lost something, Elvis. You've lost yourself. Her words hit him, hard. Because she's right. The Elvis Presley the world knows is not real. He's a construction, a product, a brand. The real Elvis, the one who loves gospel music and spiritual seeking and actual acting, he's been buried for years. Quick thought. Have you ever felt like you're living someone else's life? Drop a comment. June 1966. Paradise Hawaiian Style premieres in Hawaii, Honolulu, Waikiki Theater, thousands of fans, red carpet, cameras everywhere. Elvis attends because he has to, contractual obligation. He smiles for the photographers, signs autographs, waves to the crowd, perfect performance. Inside the theater, he watches the movie. 91 minutes, feels like 9 hours. Every song makes him cringe. Every scene makes him want to leave. But he sits there, stone-faced, next to Parker, who beams with pride. After the premiere, there's a party. Hawaiian theme, naturally, leis and tiki torches. Elvis stays for 20 minutes, then leaves. No explanation. Just gone. Back to his hotel room, alone. He sits on the bed, still in his suit. The room is silent. He can hear his own heartbeat. Slow, steady, empty. This is his life now. This is all it will ever be. Unless something changes. Unless he changes it. But how? The years that follow prove something important. Elvis never escapes. He makes 17 more movies, 1966 to 1969, 17 films. Some slightly better than Paradise Hawaiian Style, most just as bad. Spin Out, Double Trouble, Clam Bake, Speedway, Live a Little, Love a Little. All forgettable, all profitable, all pieces of Elvis's soul. But here's what the movie did accomplish. It made Elvis realize something crucial. If he was going to survive, he needed to find meaning elsewhere. Not in movies, not in Colonel Parker's vision, somewhere else. That realization leads to 1968, the '68 comeback special, Elvis on television, in black leather, playing real music, no scripts, no silly songs, just Elvis, raw, powerful, real. That special saves his career. It reminds the world why Elvis Presley matters, and it reminds Elvis who he really is. But getting there required hitting rock bottom. And Paradise Hawaiian Style was that bottom. December 2022. A collector in California purchases a piece of film history, Elvis's personal script from Paradise Hawaiian Style. Auction price, $47,000. The script is covered in Elvis's handwriting, notes in the margins. Most of them can't be printed, but a few stand out, next to Queenie Waheen's Papaya. Really? This is my legacy? Next to a love scene. I've done this exact scene in 6 movies. Next to the final page, never again. But he did it again. 16 more times. The script now sits in a private collection. A reminder of Elvis's most painful period, evidence of his imprisonment, proof that even the king was just a man who hated what he'd become. February 1977. 11 years after Paradise Hawaiian Style, Elvis performs in Las Vegas, Hilton Hotel, midnight show. He's gained weight, his health declining, prescription pills keeping him upright. But when he sings, he still transforms, still becomes something more than human. Between songs, he talks to the audience, rambling stories, half-coherent memories. Then he mentions the movies. I made a lot of movies, folks. The crowd cheers. Some of them were good. Some of them weren't. Laughter. There was one movie. Won't tell you which one. About Hawaii. More laughter. They know which one. I sang about fruit in that movie. Actual fruit. The band cracks up. Elvis smiles, but his eyes don't. My manager thought it was great. Made money. That's all that mattered. The smile fades, but I hated every second of it. Silence in the showroom. This is not the usual Elvis banter. This is something else. Raw, honest, painful. You know what I learned from that movie? Nobody answers. I learned that making people happy and being happy yourself are two different things. He looks out at 2,000 faces. So if you're doing something you hate, even if everyone tells you it's good, even if it makes money, maybe it's time to stop. The crowd doesn't know how to respond. This is too real, too honest. Elvis picks up the microphone. Anyway, here's Can't Help Falling in Love. The music starts. Elvis sings, beautiful as ever, but the words linger. Maybe it's time to stop. 6 months later, Elvis is dead. August 16th, 1977. Graceland, bathroom, 42 years old, heart failure. Prescription drugs in his system. The official cause. But the real cause? Maybe it was years of compromise, years of doing what he hated, years of being controlled, years of being trapped, years of dying slowly, until his body finally gave up. Paradise Hawaiian Style didn't kill Elvis Presley, but it killed something in him, his hope, his belief that things could change, his faith in his own agency. And once that died, the rest was just a matter of time. Today, the movie remains. Streaming services carry it. Die-hard fans watch it. Completists study it. But nobody claims it's good. Nobody defends it. It stands as evidence, proof that even the greatest can be broken, that contracts can become cages, that money can't buy freedom, that talent doesn't guarantee happiness. Colonel Tom Parker died in 1997, 87 years old, never admitted any regret, never apologized for the movies, never acknowledged the damage. To his dying day, he insisted he did what was best for Elvis. Made him rich, made him famous, made him immortal. And he's not wrong. Elvis Presley is immortal, but at what cost? The people who worked on Paradise Hawaiian Style remember it differently than Parker. Michael Moore, the director, gave one interview about it in 1992. Elvis was professional, always on time, always prepared. But you could tell his heart wasn't in it. None of us wanted to be there. Why did you do it then? Because it was a job. We all had families, bills, careers. Do you regret it? Moore paused for a long time. I regret that we couldn't give Elvis what he needed. What did he need? Respect, creative control, a real story to tell. And you couldn't give him that? Not in that system. Not with Parker running things. If Elvis had refused? If Elvis had put his foot down and said, "Absolutely not. I will not make this movie," what would have happened? Parker would have sued him into oblivion. Elvis would have lost Graceland, lost his ability to support his family, lost everything. Because the contracts were designed that way. Parker made sure of it. Every agreement locked Elvis in tighter. Every movie deal added another layer of obligation. By 1966, Elvis was so deep in contracts that walking away was impossible. He knew it. Parker knew it. Everyone knew it. So Elvis did what he had to do. He showed up, he smiled, he sang about papaya, and he died inside. One song at a time, one scene at a time, one movie at a time. The footage still exists in the Paramount archives. Hours of behind-the-scenes material. Elvis between takes, sitting alone, staring at nothing, his face blank, his eyes somewhere else, somewhere far away. That footage has never been released. Probably never will be. Because it shows the truth, and the truth doesn't sell. The myth sells. Elvis the king, Elvis the legend, Elvis forever young and perfect. But the man? The real man behind the sequins and sideburns? He was tired. So tired. And Paradise Hawaiian Style is where you can see it most clearly. If you watch the movie now, knowing what you know, you can see it in his eyes. The surrender. The defeat. The quiet acceptance that this is his life now, and there's nothing he can do about it. That's the real tragedy. Not that the movie is bad. Lots of movies are bad. The tragedy is that Elvis knew it was bad and had to do it anyway. That's what broke him. Not the bad reviews, not the silly songs. The fact that he had no choice, that his life was not his own, that he'd traded his freedom for fame. And there was no going back. So when people ask, what was Elvis's worst movie? The answer depends on how you define worst. Artistically? Maybe Harem Scarum. Financially? Maybe Stay Away, Joe. But spiritually? The one that damaged Elvis the most? That hurt him in ways no other movie could? Paradise, Hawaiian Style. Because it was the moment he gave up fighting. The moment he accepted his fate. The moment he became a prisoner in paradise. And he never truly escaped. Not in 1968 with the comeback. Not in 1969 when he returned to live performance. Not in the 70s when he toured relentlessly. The cage was always there. Parker always held the keys, and Elvis never broke free. He just learned to live with it, until he couldn't anymore. If you ever find yourself watching Paradise Hawaiian Style, do this. Don't watch Elvis the character. Watch Elvis the man. Look at his eyes. Listen to the hollowness in his voice when he sings. Notice the mechanical way he moves through scenes. And understand. You're not watching an actor phoning it in. You're watching a man in pain, a man trapped, a man who wanted desperately to be something more, but never got the chance. Because Colonel Tom Parker wouldn't let him. Because the contracts wouldn't let him. Because the system wouldn't let him. So he sang about papaya and died a little more inside. And nobody saved him because nobody could. That's the real story of Paradise Hawaiian Style. Not a silly beach movie, a tragedy. An American tragedy, the slow death of an artist, captured on film, forever. And unfortunately, they don't make men like Elvis Presley anymore.